President-elect Donald Trump will be inaugurated 2 weeks from today. Earlier this week, the 115th Congress was sworn in. Top on his to-do list is repealing Obamacare. It's a move that could have major ramifications for millions of Americans. Dr. Lee Hanna is an assistant professor of political science at Wright State University. He joins us this morning. You're here earlier this week, and I was just joking that we're not going to have a shortage of things to talk about now, are we?
No, definitely not. It's going to be a fascinating time.
And this is one topic that is definitely a major concern for a lot of Americans, because there are a lot of Americans out there who rely on Obamacare to provide them with health care. And one of the opposition in terms of what we heard from Chuck Schumer the other day was repealing Obamacare is one thing, but replacing it with something else is another thing.
Yes, absolutely. I think Schumer said that the Republicans are now the dog that's caught the bus. You know, and since 2010, they've essentially run against Obamacare in all of these elections, but as an opposition party without a sustainable majority in both houses, they haven't really been able to do much. So now the expectation is that something does happen, that they do make good on this promise and create some type of new law.
What is it about the transition from campaign promises and something that you campaign on, platforms that you campaign around, to then actually putting it into action when you get into office?
Yes, I mean, some of it is just simply cost, and it's also kind of understanding the broader market. So any slight change to the current policy could, dramatically affect the way insurers react, the way the healthcare industry more broadly reacts, the way voters react. So there's a number of calculations that now come in where it's much easier to have a symbolic vote against Obamacare, which the House did on numerous occasions, than to actually be prepared to put something forward.
Obviously, as we talked about with the concerns that people are having, in terms of a time frame, how quickly could something like this happen?
So it looks like they're going to kind of move to politically, make this should be the central focus of at least domestic policy. So they're going to move quickly to repeal, but I more than likely, and there's still a lot of uncertainty, but they're going to build in some timelines to where nothing will change overnight. So they, maybe 2 years before they have to have a replacement in place. And I would be watching Mitch McConnell and Mike Pence, actually, even more so than Paul Ryan as far as moving forward.
All right, Dr. Lee Hanna, we appreciate your time so much. Thanks again for coming in. We'll continue to monitor what happens with this going forward, as well as the many other topics that we'll be talking about in the weeks to come.
Great.
Mike?